Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. My name is Wilfred. So this episode I'd like to share with you one of the hardcore Void Crusade I've done, edited version, just to zoom into the exciting bits of the dungeon or the mission. And as you know, in order to complete the season journey, some of the objective is evolving around the hardcore Void Crusade or Void Crusade in general. So what I usually do is that I'll just, after my info fragment run, the one that I've live broadcast just yesterday, I would be doing one hardcore Void Crusade, getting all the info fragment as well as all the keys so as to complete a couple of seasonal objective at one shot, and also of course the servo scout as well. So that is pretty fruitful if you can manage to do it. The all in all span around 1.5 hours, or well, close to 2 hours actually, end to end on mission timer. So in real life there'll be a lot longer than 1.5 hours or 2 hours of game time, because in between you'll be figuring out which gear to use, do a little bit of crafting and so on. So yeah, I mean that is the run I've got, edited to the exciting bits of it. And the as you see earlier on during the opening of this video, you've seen my gear still alright. I mean, some of them are pretty decent, around about level 70, which is my level 70 odd. But my weapon is still pretty kind of poor in terms of the item level. I'm still farming for the right kind of like item level affixes for my weapon. So far I haven't really found anything that I could upgrade my weapon yet, but it's still work in progress. Also, if you recall, my resistance still quite a way to go, I would say. Still not quite there yet, so I'm still feeling a little bit vulnerable, especially when it comes to harder content. Just something to be aware of. Perk wise, I've chosen, since I'm playing hardcore, of course I've chosen one of those that is meant for hardcore, to kind of survive a fatal attack, should there be one. And I also picked up things like the hit damage, or overall kind of like working around the overheat. And also last but not the least, I realized that a lot of my attack are, although it's range, but more of a close quarter, so it's a medium range to short range, so I use that to buff my range damage as well. So overall that is what I've got. In terms of the Psalm Doctrine as well, shards wise, on the sockets, I haven't really fully socket all my items yet, because it's work in progress. Sometimes it's not really worth it to invest too much on crafting at the initial part of the leveling, although now I'm kind of reaching level 80 soon. So I've got two Psalm Doctrines. So one of them is 3 Psalm Code combined together to get the hit damage buff. Another one is the aura that you see. I think it's pretty popular, I would say, especially if you're dealing hit damage, because the aura is 100% hit damage per second. So it is decent. I mean, it's not like the best you've got, but you know, it does use up I think 4 Psalm Doctrine slot, and the remaining one I need to add things like maybe perhaps the all resist as well. Those are quite important, because I'm still work in progress towards that. And this season the one of the mechanism is to have this the escalation kind of like, you know, a buff or random buff, they call it enchantment. So I've locked the one that give me the 10% on hit chance to blind an enemy, also gain a berserker token. So a berserker token is good if you manage to have that, to buff some of your attack and so on. Now, in case if you wonder why this Harbinger is taking so long to down, well, I mean, the unfortunately the Harbinger for Adari, which is this race, is one of the worst to encounter, because they somehow they don't have minion. In other Harbinger you could take down the minions, and then after that the health will go down for the Harbinger. So because Adari somehow for reasons beyond me, they do not have minions, maybe just the enemy design. So they have a warlock as well as the minions. So in terms of that, I mean, I see that it's taking a very long time to down the Harbinger. Not very ideal, especially when it's so close to some of these like main target, I would say. But so far seems alright. I mean, the it is hardcore, so that you can't have any depth to this mission at all. Just one life for that full 2 hours. I would say 2 hours of on game, like, you know, on timer mission. So on mission timer. So yeah, I mean that is the kind of exciting part. But after a while, you kind of settle down to the whole rhythm and knowing that, well, you know, nothing bad is likely to happen if you avoid some of this big damage and so on. So it's not undoable. So I always have fun in playing the hardcore Void Crusade just for the seasonal objective, and they are supposed to give me a better kind of loot as well. As you can see, there's quite a lot of loot towards the end. But I mean, this kind of the final boss are a little bit dicey because the fire damage was pretty bad, and it was one of my lowest resistance. So survived through it, so I'm happy. And it does take a while to down it, but in the end I managed to close down all the 4 kind of like seasonal objective on the servo skull, on the you know, hardcore, mastering a hardcore, as well as the you know, so on and so forth. So I'm happy, and also mastering any Void Crusade. So I'm happy, and with the this season I do have quite a lot of keys, 2, 6, 6, 7. Yeah, so I've got 7 keys, and funny enough, the info fragment provide me information on the chest, and all of this I kind of need as well, because these are ancient and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to bore you with the opening chest ceremony. You kind of know the drill. So just a quick summary on the loot that I've got. Is 1 full page of loot. I think quick glance, I've got 1 or 2 items I can use. So so very happy to have completed this kind of like seasonal objective. But having said that, I mean, this season I'm not optimistic to complete the season journey, because there's one particular season objective called Ultimate Escalation, and if you go into a forum, a lot of people complain about how difficult it is to achieve that. You probably have to sink in hundreds of hours playing this season if you want to get to the last bit of it and earn all the cosmetic kind of like cosmetic reward. But anyway, best of luck, and if you like to ask me any question, happy to answer for you, and I'll do more live streaming, of course, for you guys. All right, see you next time. Bye.